What is up, everyone? It is day 6 and 7 of our travel vlog to Durango, Colorado. So if you've been watching the last few videos, we arrived in Durango a few days before this, and we were just exploring the area, Mesa Verde, and now we were exploring the city itself on day 6. We went to the library and the botanical garden, but given the weather, everything was already dead, unfortunately. So we just took a trail, walked around the area, and saw where the Durango Silverton train was going to pass through. And that made us extra excited because on day 7, we planned on going to the train station and taking a ride. So we found this really cool bookstore that was like in a hole in the wall, literally. And we ate at a fired up pizzeria. It was really good. And after that, we kind of walked downtown and had an easy breezy day. If you watched our last video, you saw this was our cabin. My husband and I had some snacks outside and as we were enjoying the weather. Okay, this is actually day 7. It transitioned really quickly, but this was the train station at Durango. They had a really cute gift shop, and then you should arrive early. And here were the different the train cabooses, and we boarded. We were first class, so we did purchase our seats in advance, and yeah, the prices were pretty good for first class. It also included all of your drinks, a really cool souvenir bag, and a mug as well. Our view was really nice, and of course we had a nice spot to sit. So here's our mug, my husband's and mine. We each got one, and then we did just carry our baby on our lap. Okay, so here was the views as we were leaving the area, and then we took turns carrying the baby. And then this was the Animas River. You could see it from our where we were sitting. You can kind of see the map on top. I don't think I got a good recording of it, but that was like a map of the entire route that it would take. And we did go to Cascade Canyon. So in the winter, that's pretty much the only option you have, and it leaves once a day. It's a 5-hour round trip, like excursion or ride, I guess you can call it, because you go to the canyon and then you come back. You can walk around during the ride. It is kind of bumpy, and you need to make sure that you have like a good grip so you don't fall. And these were just the views on the way outside of Durango. It was a lot of fun to definitely ride this train and to see everything. We went to the front of the train where you had the open rail, and you can just hang out at the side and kind of just take in all of the beautiful views. This was the concessions area where you had the choice, but the guide told us not to buy anything because everything was included in first class anyway. So I did buy popcorn because that was the only thing they didn't have, but they provided us with a muffin and then all you can drink. The only thing you did have to pay for was alcoholic beverages, but since I'm pregnant, that's not anything I need to worry about. The train went into the forest, the San Juan forest, and from there it went into the mountains as well. So a lot of this trip, you're going to be able to see the beautiful scenery of the area surrounding Durango, and then it leads up into Cascade Canyon, and the river that was there was actually frozen, so they were asking people to please stay off the ice. If you're like me, you like to put on your headphones and just take in all the scenery while you are enjoying nature and enjoying the ride. It is really relaxing to be on a train, and especially if you have 5 hours and your whole destination is the whole point of it is just to take in the scenery. Definitely bring something to help you relax, like pen and paper or a book, some music to listen to, and then just sit back and soak it all up. That's usually what I used to do when I would go on long train rides. But this one, because every little area was a different scene, I wanted to just take it all in and get as much of it on camera as I could. And it was nice. I know outside it was cold, but inside it was nice and toasty, especially because the sun was right above us, hitting or shining down on us. So we were able to take off our winter coats. Whenever anybody opened up the cabin door, you definitely felt really cold. And some of the movies that were filmed, they went over a few of them on the tour. Some of the movies were filmed were Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Avalanche, Around the World in 80 Days. I don't know if that was the new one or the old one. The date's not on there. Across the Wide Missouri. And he was saying a few other ones, but lots of Westerns. So it was just, it's a popular destination for filming because of, just you think of classic Wild West movies and you'll see, the different areas as you're passing through here. It's just beautiful, one of a kind, and very, very specific to the Wild West. So yeah, we were enjoying every part of it. It was founded by the Denver and Rio Grande Railway in 1879, and then the railroad originally arrived in Durango on August 5th, 1881, and then construction on the line started to Silverton began in the fall of that same year. So our baby definitely enjoyed it too. He just loved looking outside and soaking in everything, and he fell asleep for quite some time himself. But when he woke up, he knew, we were in a beautiful area, and he would just stare out the window, and he wanted to see everything that we were also seeing. So the train has been taking people on this scenic tour since 1882. But then it was promoted in 1951 as a passenger train, not a freight train. Every single year, or since then, the train itself has an average of 156,910 passengers, not including the special event trains and several celebrities. I know our guide was telling us a few of the celebrities that he personally saw, and I guess they were filming another movie on there. So yeah, by the way, the Around the World in 80 Days was the one from 1956. That was the one that was filmed on this train. Yeah, there's just a lot of really interesting facts about it. The rails are more narrow than regular trains. They're 36 inches apart, and the standard are actually 4 feet 8.5 inches apart. So why do they use the narrow gauge passenger cars? Because they want to prevent men and women from being able to sleep in the same bed on the train. So they only have room for one single sleeper bunks on each side. It's also less expensive, and it's easier to bring it through the mountain. As you could see, some of those areas were really, really narrow. And if I were, gonna sleep on there, I want the most, or the safest way possible. So the value of gold and silver that was carried on this train are actually throughout history, 137 years exactly of history, over $300 million in precious metals. Okay. Some more interesting facts are how much coal and water does the train need just one round trip. It takes 10,000 gallons of water for a round trip and 6 tons of coal. It travels around 18 miles per hour. And that's its top speed. But the average speed is actually 5 miles per hour. It travels 45 miles to Silverton, making it a total of 95 to 100 miles in one day. So Unlike automobiles, locomotives don't have odometers, so it's up to the conductor to actually keep track of the mileage. And in this video, I'm showing you how close to the rocks that the train gets, so you could see how truly narrow it is. So if you stuck out your hand, you would get scabbed by rocks. So he said, please keep your head in and your hands in, especially in those areas where you can see that the rocks are just less than a foot away. So yeah, we made it to Cascade Canyon about halfway through the trip. We didn't see any wildlife. Unfortunately, I was hoping to see wildlife, but there was nothing in the area that I could observe. So maybe next time, but there's definitely, places where you could see. He said there were reindeer there at one point, and, other places as well you could see. Oh, there's probably bears here or mountain lions even. But we were not lucky enough to see any of that on our trip. We did see other gorgeous areas that, just in the winter scenery changes. It's going to be different from what you see in the spring and summer. Okay, so halfway through, we stopped in Cascade Canyon and we ate our Subway lunch. They provided lunch on the train, but you had to pay in advance, and it was just cold sandwiches. Didn't look too appetizing, so they decided to go with Subway, and we ate there quickly. We had 45 minutes to explore, take pictures, eat. They asked please to stay off the ice, and that's exactly what we did. We ate, we walked around, changed the baby, and then went back in. We took some pictures and then we went back in. We only had about 45 minutes to enjoy the canyon area and to finish up our lunch and everything, so it was kind of rushed. We still did see the train from the outside, so that was definitely cool, and I took some videos of how the train looked so you can kind of see the entire picture of it, or get an entire idea of it. And I just thought it was like really cool that we were able to see it and step on it and take those pictures and videos. And here were the parts of the river that were not frozen over yet. There were some parts that were, and then those were the parts that we just could see from where we were. We thought we could take a quick little hike, but by that time we heard the 4 horns, and that's when they said once you hear those 3 or 4 horns, that's time to go. So then we got back in the train and headed back to Durango. And by the time we left, it was about 2 o'clock, and by the time we got there, it was about 2:30, I don't remember. By the time we got back, it was about 4:30, just in time for dinner. And we had a lot of leftovers from the day before, so we just went back home and ate that. And this was our last full day in Durango because we got home, packed up everything, and got ready for our long drive back to Texas. But yeah, this was just a remarkable way to kind of end our trip and just to remember everything that we saw and to kind of finalize, our trip to Durango. And this is actually the reason why I wanted to go to Durango, because I kept seeing shorts about this beautiful train ride, and I was like, you know what, I am sold. I need to convince my family to go out there, and that's exactly what we were able to do. So yeah, it's definitely a trip to remember for a lifetime. And like somebody once told me before I started travel, the money will come and go. It's like water. You either will have it and spend it on other things, and while you're young, that's the absolute best time to travel, not when you're older and retired, and you don't have a lot as much energy. You might have more money, but you don't have as much energy. So it's kind of like a paradox. So the best thing is to travel while you're still young. As far as I'm concerned, I don't work to just pay off bills and to just not enjoy my life. Like, the reason why I work, aside from, making sure my family is taken care of, is to enjoy things like this, and to have the means to set aside, the amount of money that I want for our trips. And that's just a part of what makes life as wonderful as it is just being able to pick a spot, even if it's in your own country, and just going there and seeing the beauty, because every place has its own, unique beauty and its own unique just nature that you can't see anywhere else. So I definitely recommend, even if it's in your own state, your own city, just go out and explore and see what there is to offer. Because if you stay inside, there's not a lot to see behind your TV screen, inside your walls. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and share.